So thank you everyone for being here. It's just at the outset, I'd like to apologize just for starting this session a little late because we were supposed to begin at 5. Interestingly, 2 of the people sitting here on the stage just an hour ago were at the ceasefire line in Kashmir between India and Pakistan. Dr. Tehmina and myself, and we just entered Islamabad, I think less than an hour ago, and we're coming straight to this event. And we spent a couple of days at the ceasefire line, and we were welcomed there by young Kashmiri men and women, somewhere between 800 and 1,000 from the University of Azad Kashmir and the University of Khojaly, and it was great to meet with young people who are actively participants in a conflict zone and would like to work for peace and have ideas on conflict resolution. And it's amazing to see that sometimes these young people, and specifically I'd like to mention young ladies in a conflict zone like Kashmir, it was amazing to see out of let's say somewhere almost 1,000 young men and women, the majority of the people actually, the majority of the young activists at that place, which is very unstable, were young ladies. They were young ladies from a conflict zone and very interested in how this conflict could be resolved and have tremendous and amazing ideas. Not to get very political, but they have ideas that sometimes surpass the ideas that policymakers and people in government have. So it was, as a journalist, it was really amazing to listen to all of them. So just coming back to our topic, we have a great panel here, and I look forward to a very interesting discussion. But just before I move on to the panelists, I just would like to mention a couple of things. First is, as a journalist who has worked mainly in conflict zones, and specifically in Lebanon, Syria, Iraq, and Afghanistan, and Kashmir. One of the interesting things that normally we hear a lot about sleeper cells and extremists who have been caught. We hear a lot about the extremists who have been arrested and captured. But one area that I believe as a journalist, as a media person, that does not get enough coverage is the role specifically of women. And you have many cases, and when I researched, I was amazed, the role of women in countering these extremist ideologies in these areas of conflict. So it's really amazing, and these are very documented cases. You have, when I was in Iraq, I've seen Iraqi women doing this. We've seen Afghan women, very brave, courageous women in Kabul and other Afghan cities. And there's also Kashmir, and in Azerbaijan, in Nagorno-Karabakh, we've seen that as well, and in Kashmir. So this is an area that does not really get much attention. I would like to thank Youth Advocacy Network and the ICYF for choosing this really great theme, the role of women, young women and girls in countering violent extremism. And I think we need to also highlight the fact that the OIC now is working very concertedly on this theme. It's good to see that, and I think that many events are taking place. At least I've followed over the last 16 months several events in Jeddah, in Istanbul, in other cities. So this is good that we're focusing on the role of especially vulnerable segments of the society in countering violent extremism. And before I move on, I just would like to also mention that Dr. Tehmina Aslam, her PhD thesis was actually on the subject of the role of women, and she documented many cases. And I had a very nice, interesting pre-event session with her, and I look forward to discussing that as well.